So, you just arrived in Sydney. The first thing you want to do is to catch the train to the city. But whatever you do, don't do that. For some reason, you have to pay extra to use the service, because a normal train trip would cost around $3 to the city if you're not on peak times. You'd think that it will cost double amount since you're coming from the airport, but no, it's $17 extra. And it's just a normal train. It doesn't go directly to the city, and it's filled with passengers from the previous stations. The trains don't provide you with any extra service. It's only designed to trick clueless tourists into spending way more money than they should. So how do I avoid this trap like a true Sydney local that isn't fare evading? Well, here's the game plan. You go to Mascot, since it's the closest train station to the airport, via bus or walking if you want to save like $1 from the bus fares. And then you ride the train to the city, saving at least 80% of the fare's costs. Now you're in the city CBD, basically where everything happens in the city. It can get a bit overwhelming sometimes with all the places you can go to or not go to, especially when these places are constantly staring at you, even from the horizon. The Sydney Harbour Bridge, basically the face of the city, found in everything Sydney related. It's a cool looking bridge that extends across the harbour, but that's pretty much it. There's nothing interesting you can do with it, although they do offer tours to climb on the bridge. It is around $300 for an adult, and you're just paying to walk to the top with a harness so you don't fall to your death. That's it. With that amount of money, you expect something at the end, but nah, you just get a view which you can't even take photos of, since you're not allowed to bring items on the top of the bridge, which is fair enough. You don't want to accidentally drop your phone and kill someone on the way down. You just have a tour guide take those photos, which then you have to pay for, which can be up to $27.50 per person. Instead, there's a crazy alternative called walking across the bridge, and it's free to do so and take pictures as well. But be careful not to drop your phone. Although it kind of sucks because it's really loud since all the cars are constantly driving past. And the winds are really strong, so it's not like it's a pleasant walk in the first place. Additionally, the view is obstructed by the bridge itself, so you don't even get any visual benefit from doing this, or any audio benefit, or even any benefit whatsoever, because the 1.1 kilometer bridge leads to North Sydney, which I don't know what you can do there. There's Luna Park, which is probably cool if you're like 5. So it's probably best to stay on this side of the bridge, where everything is, since you have the sightseeing areas such as the Rocks and Darling Harbour. I actually like the Rocks aesthetic since it represents a part of Australian history, dating all the way back to when the Europeans arrived on the land. The Rocks was the first area they settled in, and you can tell with the architecture of the buildings around here. Contrasting to Darling Harbour, which is alright, like there's some museums around here and a couple of tall buildings that cost billions of dollars. But whatever you do not eat that food around here because of its insane prices. 18, 20. Not the worst. Oh wait, that's so small actually. Any food place here doesn't matter if it's a stall or a restaurant. They are all the definition of a tourist trap. They're located in tourist heavy areas, they're expensive as fuck, and resemble a lack of authenticity or value for what they offer. Since you're not seeing Italians buy a pizza here, or any Viets lining up for a banh mi that costs more than it should. What the hell? $16 for a banh mi? That's fucked up. And it's $32 for a lobster one as well? Who's paid $32 for a banh mi? Like, they're known to be cheap. That's one of the main appeals of it. Like, you can get them for like $6 to $8. But here in the Rocks, you just double that. Oh my fucking god. Although looking back, it does seem a bit unfair to devalue these places as tourist traps, since I didn't eat any of the food there. So to prove my point, I went to Jordan's, a seafood themed restaurant on the shoreline of the harbour.
What can I get for you?
It's just some fish and chips.
Fish and chips?
Yeah. I don't like what I do here. I know it's for a bit, okay, but something at my soul died when I had to pay $30 for fish and chips, okay? This video better pop off so I can get my $30 back from this bit. Please. Chat, here it is. I got tourist trapped. First inspection, bro, look, I just got airplane food. It doesn't really look anything special. I can only really summarize this meal by saying that the fish tastes like fish and the chips taste like chips. That's it. It was definitely not worth $30. Man, this is not even this bit wasn't even worth it. Like, I didn't make my money's worth. I need to eat all of this. Well, luckily, this expensive meal has been funded by viewers like you, because this is where I soft-launched my Patreon page. As of recording, we only got one Patreon who asked to pay ID the money over, but it still helps. So far, I'm going to offer exclusive content on the Patreon like director's commentaries for my videos, so you can understand the thought process on how a video is made, and even early access to the drafts I upload to check if a video have copyright issues on it. Plus, you get a cool Discord role and exclusive chats. If the Patreon does get more popular, then I'll definitely consider more rewards. But for now, it's an option if you want to support the channel. The link is in the description if you're interested. I'm sorry to the whole one Patreon about using your money on this. Like, I swear in the future, I'll spend it on much more better things for videos, okay? The food around the harbour is a pretty easy trap to avoid because you can just walk a bit to the right and eat around Town Hall, which has a variety of restaurants with different cultures. Although some of the places can be expensive, it's much better than what Darling Harbour or the Rocks have to offer. Or you can even go south to visit Chinatown to experience Chinese culture and food, which you can't go wrong with. There's plenty of great places here, but there's one area that stands out the most, since there's always a queue leading from it. Probably the most popular place to eat in Chinatown, and iconic within the locals. Well, what are these people lining up for? Well, for some Emperor cream puffs, of course.
Must try Emperor
Have you had
puffs.
Are you really from Sydney? Have you guys had the cheapest dessert in Sydney?
I know this is a really hot take showcasing it in a video like this, and I'm definitely going to get flamed for it, but I swear the lines used to be longer and more frequent a couple years ago. I'm telling you, Emperor cream puffs fell off. But why is that? But the big appeal of this place comes from the prices, since they're known to be very cheap. Initially 35 cents for one and $5 for 18 of them pre-COVID, they became a measurement of the cost of living because fast forward to the present, the prices have doubled. 70 cents for one of them and $5 for only 9. It's very reflective on everything around us rapidly increasing in price, and you know the shit's getting worse when something so cheap gradually gets more expensive. But despite this, the value is still pretty decent. There's not a lot to complain about a $5 box filled with cream puffs, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It doesn't taste good, but it doesn't taste bad. It's just okay. Like, I feel like I'm just eating mushy dough. I know my opinion is a contrast to every portrait short form video I see praising this place and showcasing the custard oozing out of the cream puff. But that custard just tastes like nothing, and it also dries up in a couple of minutes, so you have to eat it straight away. I get why you would wait in line for this, and I also don't get it at the same time. Even though it's mid, it's pretty cheap for this economy, but there's also a bakery right next to it, which can be a bit hard to notice initially because of how distracting the giant fucking line is. Although it's cramped and half the times in Chinese, it actually makes it more authentic. Like, you can't go wrong with these Chinese bread stores. I would rather spend a little bit extra to enjoy some nice bread versus a box full of mid. Another place that short form content creators like to praise is the strawberry watermelon cake. The whole gimmick is that there's a slice of watermelon in the middle of a strawberry cheesecake, which allowed it to become a worldwide sensation for some reason, blowing up on social media, especially in China, where these Chinese tourists would travel 7,500 kilometers overseas to try this thing. I can't imagine doing that for a slice of cake. Like, I'm annoyed that I have to leave the city to catch a 14-minute train to Newtown, which was the birthplace of this cake, hosting the original Black Star pastry with a self-proclaimed world's most Instagrammed cake. And I see why, since visually it's really pretty and looks delicious. Guys, I did it. I got the cake. I don't feel like one of those Chinese people that travel all the way here just to try this. I definitely give out that vibe, why? Because I'm just holding a camera around recording the shop. I'm gonna go to the park and we'll just try this out. Although the packaging is nice, it's just a gimmick designed to bait you to take aesthetically pleasing photos and post them on your Instagram. It seems like the focus is on the product's appearance because who cares that it tastes bland and the contrasting watermelon taste doesn't fit with the whole cheesecake texture, but once you have some cool photos and recordings of it, just throw it away. You don't need this shit. It costs $12 for a small slice. So the TikTok video you shot with only 500 views wasn't worth the financial investment and you're at a loss. But more importantly, the size is just about enough to feed a small child, which doesn't justify the price point, and it also doesn't taste good. From what I saw online, about like tourist traps here in Sydney. A lot of the times this place showed up, so I actually never been here before. I actually never been to the suburb before, so we're just gonna see how it is. But yeah, seeing and reading all the comments about it, I think I have my expectations really low about this one. I'm glad I had them low because it just seems like another place you would get to eat at. Stuff like coffee, burgers, or pizza, which can be found literally anywhere. It's not like you would find yourself in Alexandria in the first place, because it's a bit inconvenient since there's no direct trains from the city, although buying the food gives you a receipt. I mean, no shit, but it serves as a ticket you can use to get a peek into the exclusive laneway access. Curious, what's in the laneway access here?
This is Winter Wonderland, bro.
Oh, so it's just
so
like...
people come in here, take photos, the carriage that you sit in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's more of an aesthetic.
More aesthetic,
yeah.
like Instagram photos
Yeah,
and stuff, yeah.
So
as you can tell, they're having a snowy winter theme since it doesn't get cold here in Sydney. And I was told that you had to spend a minimum of $15 to have a valid ticket to enter the area, forcing yourself to eat a meal here. I decided to take a plunge and I bought some food so I can access the laneway access. We'll see if this is worth it or not. Upon entering, there were landmarks to take photos with, since the laneway access treats itself as a small extension to the winter theme, and because of the area was designed for tourists to take photos, you're constantly getting blocked by them. It doesn't help when there's limited space in the area and you're going down an alleyway. Like, good luck getting out when there's people asking you to take photos of them, and then you're just stuck there doing so. The area itself seems so shallow, since it only exists just for you to take photos for your Instagram page. So I'm back in the city and I totally forgot about this place, Market City in Haymarket. Overall, the place is fine. It's what you expect from a standard mall with a big Chinese influence, but I'm talking about what's underneath it. You have this giant warehouse divided into two sections, Paddys Markets and then Hay Street Market, where they serve a variety of different cuisines, reflecting Australia's diverse population. It recently opened earlier this year from a multi-million-dollar renovation, which had a lot of people checking it out, but now it's not so busy anymore, because I think people can already tell there's something up with this place. It's just a money issue, because there's no way I'm going to spend $14 on a slice of pizza. It's the same trapper style in Harbour when it comes to eating out, but it's also much easier to avoid, because you have Market City above you. It has a small food court with my beloved Langzhou beef noodles. Like, would you rather a $14 pizza slice or a bowl of handmade beef noodle soup for the same cost? Like, that isn't a fair competition. Along with that, you're already surrounded by different cuisines around the city, so there isn't a point to come here unless you want some fresh vegetables or check out the markets. Look, I could have got fish and chips cheaper here. Paddys Market's actually been around since the 1800s, originally set up for traders to sell their stock, but now it offers a range of unique products, such as clothes, I guess. Seems like casually just buy this out in public. It's crazy. I envision a place to support local businesses, which actually is something you can find at the Rocks. But here in Haymarket, it's just Chinese immigrants selling Temu quality products such as merchandise that are clearly bootleg products or tacky, inauthentic souvenirs, and it wouldn't be a tourist trap if they didn't charge you for an insane markup price. The website mentions how it's evolved to sell knickknacks or knockoffs such as a Chinese Minecraft Lego set or the bucket hat that says retard, but now, with the modern age, you're better off buying these knickknacks and knockoffs on AliExpress for a quarter of the price. So that's what not to do. Now, what should you even do here in Sydney? This is a joke, guys, don't play my. Honorable mentions to Bondi Beach. I feel like it's common knowledge that this place is overrated, but I could not be bothered to actually go since I had to make it inconvenient to get there. The train line doesn't even go to the beach, it just fucking stops at Bondi Junction, so I have to walk all the way down there. There's supposed to be a train line, but the locals protested against it since they want to gatekeep the area from everyone else. And it's not like a train would benefit them since they haven't left Bondi since pre-COVID. The protest was a success, but despite this, it's still a popular tourist tourist destination in the summer, which makes the buses cramped and the parking spaces full, making the whole experience worse for the locals and tourists. It makes sense for people to come here since Australia is well known for its beaches, and I know tourists like it because they're comparing Bondi to the beaches back in their home country. But by Australian standards, it's pretty mid. Like, you can find better beaches that are less crowded and around a 5-minute radius, or travel out to Sydney to Newcastle or Wollongong, as they were generally some of the nice beaches I've ever been to. Maybe Sydney itself is the tourist trap, but where else is there to go here? Like fucking Canberra?